Hello ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, innies, outies and in-betweeners. My name's Dan and welcome back to another PAP Reports. Today is Friday the 27th of March 2020. Today we're starting with non-coronavirus report, as I will try to do in every video. I'm sure you're all fed up with hearing about it. Alas, the reports won't be devoid of news about it, but I will prioritise non-virus related news so it doesn't get buried and ignored. So we start today with former police constable Ed Farrow from Avon and Somerset Police. Ed Farrow was a particularly nasty piece of work and someone I spoke about in PAP Reports Live on the 20th of March. Farrow's misconduct hearing concluded yesterday at Avon and Somerset's police headquarters over allegations of entering into inappropriate sexual relationships with vulnerable members of the public and engaging in sexual activity with them whilst on duty, failing to disclose one of his inappropriate sexual relationships when he had already disclosed another inappropriate relationship, disclosing confidential information about police investigations, including a murder investigation and the arrest of a suspect, failing to take appropriate action in response to a domestic abuse allegation, and inappropriately demonstrating the use of a taser, all of which breached numerous standards of professional behaviour. Thankfully, all of the allegations were proven against Farrow, and although he has already left the force, which prevents any real further action against him, his actions were deemed so serious that he has been placed on the police barred list, which now prevents him from rejoining another police force. And now I must apologise because the remainder of today's reports are in fact virus related. The next report worries me somewhat because it gives an indication that police may simply abuse their new powers just because they don't know what else to do. John Apter, chair of the Police Federation of England and Wales, has said that police will not be able to enforce all the rules of the coronavirus lockdown imposed by the Prime Minister, as it was not realistic for officers to check how many times people had exercised in a day. He said certainly the police will get involved with more than two people gathering in the same place, but as far as policing the bread aisle in the supermarkets or checking how many times people are going to the shops, that's simply impractical. Now, I think most people already know that if the police are not sure about something, they'll simply conjure up a charge just to get hold of that person while they investigate. This shows when you think back to yesterday's video when I explained that only 7.3% of reported crimes are actually resulting in a charge or a summons. I mean, is this because 92.7% of the criminals are getting more clever? Or is it simply that 92.7% of arrests are bogus, or that the police are that unfit for purpose they simply can't do the jobs they're hired to do? Mr. Apter went on to say the biggest concern is how we enforce social distancing. He added, "We police by consent and I don't want that to change during this crisis." It's too late for that, mate. This is about saving lives and protecting people across the country. Now, what an utter pile of crap, Mr. Apter. This whole policing by consent is always ignored by the police and the government unless it suits them. And I personally feel there is an underlying motive to the claims being made here. Police have already admitted that a graduated withdrawal of service will be enacted if the coronavirus epidemic continues to worsen, with emergency response and threats to life prioritised over proactive patrols and other functions. Even the National Police Chief Council has asked for voluntary special constables to be released from their jobs, as in their normal day jobs, and are relaxing rules on officers rejoining the service after retirement to bolster ranks, which frightens me as many police retire in order to avoid punishment for piss-poor behaviour while working for the police. I have a feeling that we are going to start seeing an increase of arrests of people or fines issued simply because the police don't know what else to do. I mean, it's going to be near impossible to determine if people are out for the first time that day or the third. And while police are wasting their time on these people, actual criminals are going to have an easier time getting away with their crimes. With so few people on the streets now, I wonder if the police are using this time to catch up on investigations of crimes reported before the outbreak, or if they will be ignored so the police can go on a fining spree with easy targets. Don't get me wrong, if people are blatantly and obviously, without a shadow of a doubt, committing a crime or breaking the rules that have been imposed on us, then I guess those people need to be dealt with appropriately. But those situations are certainly not the same as being stopped and asked if it's your first time out of the house today, and then being fined because you can't prove that it is. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. The following is a situation that does need dealing with, however. At about 4:30 p.m. yesterday, a bus full of key workers had its windows smashed after a group of kids threw stones at it as they transported key workers home in West Leeds. One witness said she heard the stones hitting the bus. The force of the stones smashed through the glass pane on the door and also cracked glass next to the passenger seating. She said, "Finish a day at work doing a key worker job and obviously wanting to get home after a long hard day, and kids think it's funny to throw stones at the bus and smash the bus up. Absolute joke. People need to control their kids." And I'm afraid I have to agree with her. People allowing their kids to go out and be little bastards are simply making things worse for the rest of us. Thankfully, no one was injured in the incident. On Thursday, the Home Office announced that the police now have the power to arrest and fine people who do not follow the rules. Doesn't really seem like policing under consent. Officers can also tell them to go home, leave or disperse an area and ensure parents are taking necessary steps to stop their children breaking the law. And that last sentence brings me nicely on to the next report. Police have been warning parents that they will grass them up to social services if they let their children out during lockdown. Yes, police are not content with fines and arrests and now want to break families up too. Not that it wasn't part of their remit in the first place, however. Taking to social media, one police force in the Midlands told its followers, "If your child is not in school, they remain your responsibility. Letting your child break the lockdown rules could be deemed as neglectful. We will take action and make referrals to other agencies to safeguard your children. Remember, this is not a holiday, it's a lockdown." The warning from police has been shared widely, with social media users praising them for their approach. Until, of course, one of their children gets fed up and sneaks out, and then they are reported to social services. I'm sure it will change their tune pretty quickly. The police already have new powers to arrest, detain and fine people for breaking the rules, so why are they simply not using those tools rather than threatening to destroy families? Because let's face it, social services are as unfit for purpose as the current police system, and most of those employed by social services and other government institutions are pretty much only in it for themselves and only do what benefits them, not the people they're supposed to serve. And now a little something for the police who watch this channel. This is what you should be tackling. 32-year-old Wayne Harvey, who thought stealing an A&E receptionist's handbag in the early hours of Wednesday morning during this virus outbreak was a good idea, has been caught, and the following day was in court and gifted a 31-week prison sentence. Harvey, who was said to be high on drugs at the time, entered the A&E department at around 5:40 a.m. and stole the bag from behind reception. He was caught by hospital security, who tried to stop him doing a runner, but then bit the security guard. Harvey appeared at Coventry Magistrates Court on Thursday, where he admitted the two charges. He was jailed for 17 weeks for assault and a further 14 weeks for the theft to be served concurrently, and was also ordered to pay a £149 victim surcharge. Warwickshire Police said these would have been despicable crimes at the best of times. However, given they were committed against hospital workers who are on the front line in protecting people from the global pandemic, makes it even worse. David Eltringham, George Eliot Hospital's managing director, said, "I am appalled by this crime against our hard-working staff who are giving their all on the front line during this time of national crisis. Our team should be applauded for their contribution to protecting our community, not being made to suffer by offences such as this." We ask our staff to be vigilant at all times when on site, and we give our full support to the police and courts in dealing with any crime against our workers. Now, I tend to agree that supporting the police who are dealing with crimes, as in actual crimes, is something we should do. The problem is the police often take it upon themselves to make crimes out of non-crimes and make non-crimes out of actual crimes. But when the police are doing their actual job, then fair play. I think that the police watching this video should take note that people trying to take advantage of the current situation should be dealt with harshly. I think the fact that the court took this case in the following day and dealt with it quickly is also worth praising. Maybe if you concentrate on actual crimes and deal with them accordingly, rather than making threats to report people to social services or fining people simply because you can, then you may get a little more respect for what you do. A big thank you to Patreon supporters Motty Lad, Holly, Adie, Dave, Ian, Copwatch UK, Dean, Jay and Carl, whose support is helping me to continue to provide you this content. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. Please like, share, comment and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts, as I know many of you will, and until next time, stay safe, look after each other, film the police, now more than ever, and other officials.
Good night, all.
Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you like the content and you'd like to help support the channel, you can do so. In the description of every video there are some links to ways that you're able to help support the channel so I can continue putting out content. If you're unable to help us in that way, hit that subscribe button up the top there. If you haven't already, become a subscriber. That is support enough. Share the videos, comment, like, it all helps. If you're looking for something else to watch, up top there is my latest video. Down the bottom there is a video that YouTube recommends for you.